doesn't love Nintendo? They've been on a roll this year, what with the release of the Switch, the best Zelda game ever, and recently, the best Mario game ever. So we thought we would keep rolling with more references. Hi, I'm Jacob with channel Frederator, and today we're hunting for more Nintendo references and cartoons. And before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to become part of our notification squad. Family Guy. Family Guy has made a joke about literally every pop culture phenomenon or celebrity under the sun, so of course they've made their fair share of Nintendo nods. And they've ranged from the blatant Mario appearances to the hardcore NES nods. When the Griffins go to Italy and boobity babbity, Meg starts dating Mario. However, Meg is constantly dismayed by the presence of Luigi, who apparently likes Mario's sloppy seconds, which, as a Luigi player, is not exactly how I like to think about the Mario brothers. But that's the Family Guy way. Anyway, Mario also saves Stewie from his evil pet turtle, Sheldon, because that's what Mario does, he jumps on turtles. There's also Peter's recounting of a weirdly dark supposed secret level in the old Donkey Kong game where DK and Mario become accomplices in killing Pauline and going to a movie afterward. Some references have been much more obscure though. In A Fistful of Meg, after asking if she liked old school Nintendo games, Quagmire trains Meg to fight a bully in an 8-bit sequence where she follows him on a bicycle. That sequence is actually right out of the classic NES game, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! Yeah, did you know that when Mike Tyson isn't solving mysteries, he's actually a boxer? Weird, right? Even more obscure is Peter's obsession with ye old corner 3! When Peter and the guys play some double dribble, Peter exploits a glitch in the game that gives the team a guaranteed 3-point shot. That glitch exists in the actual game too, so now on the inevitably frequent occasions you and your friends play double dribble, you'll have a leg up. Thanks, Family Guy! SpongeBob SquarePants, Atlantis SquarePantis. When you think SpongeBob musical, you probably think of the one that just opened on Broadway, but if you think SpongeBob musical in Atlantis, your mind doesn't really jump to Nintendo references. Probably because unlike Family Guy, SpongeBob isn't exactly known for spouting pop culture satires left and right, with a few notable exceptions like Mermaid Man, of course. Or, you know, at least the show didn't in its beginning seasons. But this is probably why they packed as many Nintendo references as they could into Atlantis SquarePantis, a double-length musical special from season 5 that, weirdly enough, stars David Bowie as the Atlantis version of a Blue Meanie. In the episode, SpongeBob and the gang open the path to Atlantis, and the Emperor shows them around. Many wonders await in the science lab, including a machine where you can fight your own germs and diseases by turning yourself into the hero of an 8-bit video game. Because that's obviously the best way to fight diseases, right? With literal fighting. This, of course, is where most of the Nintendo references lay. The sound effects sound straight out of an old NES game, and the song written for the game is even called Mario Type. The germs themselves bear suspicious resemblances to classic Mario foes like Spinies and Wigglers, while others look like the viruses from Dr. Mario. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward scream for help like Pauline in the old Donkey Kong games. Sandy goes down a warp pipe into a room with a similar frame and the same checkered background as the Dr. Mario NES game, and of course Sandy also ground pounds one of the germs. There's also Street Fighter and Dance Dance Revolution references, but let's focus on Mario, especially since the aforementioned nods are not even all of the Mario references in the episode. At one point, the Bowie/Blue Meanie throws Squidward into a painting, and the painting even ripples just like how you would expect a painting would ripple in a Mario 64 nod. And so ends the time that SpongeBob referenced Mario. But what a time it was. Homestar Runner. We all still know Homestar Runner, right? The web-based Flash cartoons that stole everyone's hearts in the 2000s and beyond, giving birth to Strong Bad Emails, which in turn gave us Trogdor and Teen Girl Squad? You remember, right? Because if you don't remember, I'm not sure we can be friends. And just try to not get the Trogdor song stuck in your head the second I say Trogdor. Turns out Homestar Runner is a regular goldmine of Mario and Zelda references. In fact, there are so many references to Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Pokemon, and Nintendo systems themselves that we could do a piece just on Nintendo references in Homestar Runner and still not cover everything, so here are some brief highlights. Famously, Homestar Runner takes its Halloween specials very, very seriously, and seeing the characters' brilliant costumes is always the highlight. These costumes are also a hotbed for Nintendo references. For example, the episode Halloween Potion Majig has the Cheat dressed up as Toad and Hamsar as Tingle. The King of Town dresses as Mario in Pumpkin Carnival, while Bubs goes all out and goes as the voice of Mario from the Super Show professional wrestler Captain Lou Albano. When the king receives worst prize, he even says, "Sorry king, but our princess is in another castle." This line is a nod to Super Mario Bros. When the toads at the end of every castle tell Mario that the princess is in another castle. And they also possibly flip you off, but tests have been inconclusive. In Doomy Tales of the Macabre, the Poopsmith is dressed as Darunia from Ocarina of Time, while Strong Bad is dressed as Skull Kid. The Easter eggs for this one are great too. Homestar sings Saria's song to get the Poopsmith to dance, and Strong Bad mocks how the evil moon affected gameplay while the moon in the background suddenly dons the creepy face that haunted us all in Majora. Time to move outside the Halloween specials. Why Come Only One Girl, a cartoon made to explain why Marzipan is the only female character in the Homestar universe, blames a new Zelda game for the fact that the Brothers Chaps suddenly abandoned development of a character who was probably named the Hurricane. This prompts Homestar to cry to Ganondorf and then catch Marzipan like a fairy, complete with him singing an item acquisition song, doo-doo-doo-doo. The brothers later agreed that the game in question was probably Wind Waker. More obscurely, pie factories have been mentioned numerous times in Strong Bad emails. These are incredibly subtle nods to the cement factory level in the Donkey Kong arcade game because the Brothers Chaps thought that the pans of cement looked like pies. The video games naturally have lots of Nintendo references too, like Marzipan becoming Marza Kong and throwing a bunch of crates in episode 5 of Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people, 8-bit is enough. And the way Homestar shouts "Hey listen" like Navi. But there are literally way too many Nintendo references in Homestar to cover here. We have no choice but to cut ourselves off and move on. Maybe we'll come back to Free Country USA some other time. We are gonna do that, right? We're gonna be making more Homestar videos? Chowder. It is very, very weird to realize that Cartoon Network's Chowder, a show about a scatterbrained apprentice to a chef, premiered over 10 years ago. Despite it being a show about cooking, creator C.H. Greenblatt must love Nintendo because there are multiple references peppered throughout the series. There's even one in the first episode. When you slow down the recipe for the Froggy Apple Crumple Thumpkin, you see that the last two ingredients are apparently a Triforce and an NES controller. And let me tell you, I remember my childhood biting down on my NES controller in a blind rage. They taste horrible. They taste like bitterness and salt. There have been a couple of Nintendo character cameos as well. Two restaurant workers in Chowder and Mr. Fugu look like Mario and Luigi. At the end of Big Ball, the stadium turns out to be on the back of a creature who looks suspiciously like Bowser. Many fans have pointed out that Ugly Chowder from Apprentice Appreciation Day bears a resemblance to Wario, and the plant that swallows chowder in the garden was surely modeled off a piranha plant. However, we highly doubt that Indian-influenced psychedelic song sequences will play when you're swallowed by an actual piranha plant. The most involved Mario reference, though, is in Sniffle Ball, where one of the bases is an 8-bit game that's basically just an underground level of Super Mario Bros. Gorgonzola is transformed into Bowser and throws what looks exactly like a fireball. Chowder jumps on his head in an incredibly Mario-like fashion, and Gorgonzola tips over in a very Koopa-like fashion. There's even a warp pipe and some music that sounds a lot like the old Underground theme. At what point do you just start paying royalties? Steven Universe, Lion's Mane. Let's end by circling back to Steven Universe. We talked about Steven Universe in our first Nintendo references video because it's no secret that Rebecca Sugar is a big fan. But we neglected to mention one very subtle, very ingenious nod to The Legend of Zelda, and warning, this will have some spoilers for Majora's Mask. Did Lion's Mane ever feel familiar to you Zelda fans? Where could we have possibly seen one lonely, sprawling tree surrounded by a field before? How about the end of Majora's Mask when we meet the children on the moon? Plus, both realms are inside unexpected magical places. Unfortunately, one of those places just so happens to be a horrifying, deadly moon. Of course, Zelda references like this should be expected from a series that casually throws some Lon milk on a shelf behind Pearl as she's folding laundry. We see ya, Rebecca Sugar. Thank you for the constant sneaky references. And there you have it. I'm Jacob, and thanks for watching more Nintendo references and cartoons. Did we miss your favorite nod to Mario, Zelda, or anything else in the great realm of Nintendo-dom? Tell us in the comments below. Don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of our notification squad. We have new videos dropping every day, so make sure to subscribe, because remember, Frederator loves you.